folks, and welcome to a Christmas whatever natter, where we're going to be talking about all kinds of things: our trip to Doddington, life, Christmas films, Christmas, mindfulness, jigsaws, anything. So let's go for it. Let's start on those tangents. It's our first natter of December, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How's everyone finding December? Let me know in the comments. We're enjoying it, aren't we?
We are, yeah, I'm enjoying it. We've not gone out and about as much as we did last year, but the weather's not been there, has it?
I don't know, I think by the time Christmas comes, we will have done.
Probably will have done, yeah. But I think we went a bit at it hard last year, just to try and raise the profile on the channel.
Yeah, it was the first, because we started it on the 17th of December, of which we need to think about something to do to mark that. We did say a Q&A or something live, but we can't really go live on the 17th.
Probably not. Don't know. We'll have to think about it.
But we could film something before.
But let's not have a planning session.
Yes, let's not have a
Any ideas?
Anyway, let us know what we'd like to see us do from 17th
to
of
the
December.
PO box. I'm only joking. Put a comment.
Comment section.
Don't send the postcard.
Time, will we?
No, not with the Royal Mail like it is.
Oh, I know. So, Christmas. Today we went to Doddington. Well, this morning I have got out. You know, like last year we started that 1,000-piece jigsaw. It was the first ever jigsaw we'd ever done, and it just overwhelmed us. And we've not done a jigsaw at all this year. We bought two more, which were 300-piece, and we bought a Bronte one, the Bronte Experience or whatever, which is 1,000-piece, which we've not done. And they're there, which is why I keep looking down there. And they've been going like that to me all year. But I decided, and we got a big thing as well to put it on, but we'd not opened it. And I said, I want to do a jigsaw. You said to film it, but I said, I don't want to film it. I don't want that. I just want it to be, for me, mindfulness. I don't want to be filming it and have that pressure again. So I got on this one and I've started it, and I am on my way with it. It's a 300-piece one. I've done all the borders. Oh, there's one missing piece of the border, of which I can't find anywhere. Anyone that does jigsaws, is it uncommon to have a piece of jigsaw missing?
I think you'll find it. I think you just got to get on with it, and you might find it. It'll be the very last piece you find. For God's sake, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've separated them into sections. I'm working away on building up certain areas of it, and it's on the table. So
either somebody in the jigsaw manufacturing world has decided to play a joke on loads of people. But hopefully not.
This morning when I started it, though, I got really overwhelmed, and there's something with my brain that I'm realising where I get a lack of patience, and I get overwhelmed, and I get, what's the other one?
Don't know. Overwhelmed.
Yeah, overwhelmed, and
you wanted to get it done
now.
Yeah.
And I don't think jigsaws, you can do that. They are a pondering thing. I mean, we could still be doing that in January.
Yeah, you've just got. I think you've got to keep coming at it. I think if you sit at a jigsaw and you just you just lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You lose your concentration, and you need to step away, come back, and you did that. And we went to Doddington Hall, and we came back, and you come back, and you got a lot further in like 10 minutes. If you'd have carried on 10 minutes before we went, you wouldn't have got as far as you had now. I think you just get overwrought. It just becomes too much.
And before I went to Doddington, I was like, I'm going to pack these jigsaws are just not for me. But I've got a feeling that jigsaws could be for me, and they could be really helpful. So what I did when we came back, I just stood there for a bit on the table, and I just, throughout making dinner and stuff, placed it, and it's coming along okay, isn't it?
I'll put a photograph over the Christmas tree just to show you how far Claire's got with
it. Because I was watching, I can't remember his name, YouTube, I think it was yesterday, and he was talking about reading, and he reads classic literature, and he does a lot of work on that. And I don't know if he'd seen some other videos on, BookTube, YouTube, of people that have said, I've read 10, 15, 20 books in a month. And this thing about many people now coming to BookTube, and they're getting overwhelmed when they see BookTubers with a big pack. We're all guilty of it. And he was saying about how actually, number one, before we got social media and books, we didn't have that pressure. And it's okay to just read one book a month. And he reads very complex book literature, contemporary literature, all of that kind of stuff. And it made me think about, he was talking about TBRs, which is to be read. And I am guilty of this, getting these big, overwhelming TBRs when you start to pick up your book, but you're thinking about your next book, of which I'm guilty of. So I'm going to try and stop that. And I wonder if that's where I made my mistake with Stephen King's It. If I should have just said, right, this is the book for October.
I think some books you do need to spend time on. Some books you can fly through. Like the Jack Reacher, Lee Child's ones, I can read in a couple of days and I'll just fly through it. And it's Pulp Fiction. You don't really need to remember what happened. You know what I mean? It's like an action film you watch. You enjoy it while you're either reading it or watching it, but do you really need to remember what happened? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe if you want to talk about it in a video on YouTube, but no. but I'm guilty for it as well. I read loads of these kind of books and I just fly through them. I've just been reading some Robert B. Parker books, which ones that are not old. I think the 1990s or noughties, and the cowboy books. And I actually read one in one evening. I don't think they're very thick. You know what I mean? They're very easy reading. So I read it quite quickly. Can I remember much of that happened? Probably not. Did I enjoy it when I read it? Yeah, I did. So you've got to decide what you want out of these books. And I think some of the books that are on BookTube are more ones you need to have a bit of a thought about. Yeah. Because I've just got Richard Osmond, Thursday Night Murder Club. So it's a new. Well, it's been going a few years now. So I've got the first 3 books from a charity shop when we went to Retford yesterday, and I've started reading that, and I won't be able to fly through that in an evening. No. I think last night I managed to get through 50 pages, rather than 400 of the Robert B. Parker's, because it's just written in a different way, and I had to keep going backwards and forwards just to get the idea of how it's telling the story. So
I think, like, when I go for Gone with the Wind, I'm going to take my time with that. And the next Stephen King one, which is 11/22/63, I'm going to take my time with it. It doesn't matter if it takes a month, because I think that it's important to be able to do a jigsaw. It's important to be able to read a long book or to read and not get so overwhelmed with everything. And also, another thing that I've stopped doing is setting myself it could be on a BookTube this. Setting myself.
I was about to say, I think we're getting realms of BookTube in this video.
It's a Natter, isn't it? Setting myself. What I do is I'd say I'm going to read 50 books this year. I'm going to read 90 books this year, and I just think that's ego as well.
Possibly is, yeah.
Don't you think that's ego?
It is ego.
I used to get really eek doing that, and
I've never counted. I won't be able to tell you how many books I read this year. Yeah. I ain't got a clue. You know.
So that's why I'm going with that.
I couldn't tell you. It could be 80. It could be 10. It's not 10. But you know.
If you think about our ancestors, even like grandparents, they would not have had the access to books unless they were wealthy. To have these, you see them on BookTube, these big libraries have got shelf after shelf after shelf. Our grandparents possibly wouldn't have had that unless they were minted.
No, you look at the stately homes. It's the stately homes have got these massive libraries with all these books. You know what I mean? All these masters and all these kind of the books. And there wouldn't have been as many authors back then either. So yeah, interesting.
So that's where I'm at with that. Yeah. We'll probably discuss more of that on BookTube.
Yes. So we enjoyed Donington Hall, didn't we? Lovely and Christmassy as always. They do different Christmas themes every year, don't they? So it is worth going back year on year because they do have different decorations. It's all done different, and it's really nice. And if you've not watched it, it's the next one. It's going to be the next video from this.
They've got a restaurant there and a bar. They've got the cafe. It's good down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good place to go. It's bustling. It's busy. Sometimes maybe too busy for us, but it is what it is. If it wasn't as busy, would it be so good? I don't know. They need the footfall, don't they? Yeah. So yeah, really enjoyed that. What else have we done so far? It's Christmas. We've been to Peace Hall.
Peace Hall
Wasn't as Christmassy as I thought it was going to be. A little bit. It felt better when it was at night, and you could see the lights twinkling and all that kind of stuff. But still wasn't as Christmassy as I thought.
No,
I was a bit disappointed. But it was a nice start. And if you like all artisan kind of stuff, there's nice artisan stalls and all those kind of things. Quite disinterested vendors, but I had the premise that they were all Etsy people and they're used to dealing with people over the internet, and they weren't proper salespeople.
Well, I was when we went to Peace Hall. I was reading a book again. Here we go. Sorry, I do apologise. I started reading the Quality Street series, which was based in Halifax pre-war, and they were talking about the Peace Hall Christmas market, and it was night and day. They were selling veggies, meat, fish, bakes,
proper market stores.
Habaturies. That thing with the sewing. Haberdashery?
Whatever.
Shit. Cottons, silks, materials, cobbler, all of that. And it's like, it was night and day. And I had the feeling that area was a bit like rebellious. The energy of it was like, take it back to what it was.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like it was like night and day compared to what I'd read in the books compared to.
Yeah, they had one good ride, didn't they? The horses, which is a lovely ride, really. It's lovely, picturesque.
Pabby Badger, I don't know. Let me know. Break it down in the comments.
But they just had a slide, didn't they? And I think in previous years they had a big wheel, and I was actually looking. I fancied going on the big wheel. I've not been on one for years, but unfortunately didn't have it. But we had a nice time. We had a nice meal, didn't we? It was an experience. I don't think we'll be going back next year, though.
No, I think I'd like to try Leeds again.
Yeah, we could try Leeds next year.
Because Leeds looks like it's got bigger. It's got right down to the equator town.
Yeah, I'm fancying Leeds or York.
Yeah, York. Through the week. We're also thinking as well, these trips out is to do them during the week. Because the weekend in these places...
Well, we did Halifax on Friday, didn't we?
Yes.
Halifax we did on Friday. It was quiet, wasn't it? So that you've actually proved your point.
Because I think weekends anywhere now, and even weekends at the evenings at the weekend, is just horrific.
I think if Leeds or York is open on a Monday, then I think that might be a good place.
Because York is heaving.
I think that might be a good, maybe a Sunday until Monday. Maybe I don't know. It's a thought. Something to do next year. And
we never got to see Bridget Jones on E1 because it's not out till February the 14th. Hello, Mercury retrograde, because I could have swore that they said it was coming out for Christmas. They may have changed it. So that we could do that as part of a Valentine's vlog.
Yes. We could go to the cinema. We've got I think the vouchers that we've got will still be valid then. All going well, and we'll just book it in well in advance. Yeah. So that'll be good.
Christmas films we've not watched any yet, have we?
No. I think there's a new one on Amazon Prime.
What's that?
I can't remember. So that's not good, is it? We'll probably watch the usual ones, won't we? National Lampoons. White Christmas.
Yeah. I think I'm a bit
Die Hard.
filmed out. Do you know what? I'm a bit Christmas filmed out. I haven't even started watching them.
No, we've gone right off the telly though, haven't we?
Yes.
We're not really watching as much telly as we used to. What have we been watching on the telly recently?
What have we been watching? Bake Off.
I've been watching Bake Off. I've got back into Kitchen Nightmares.
Should we talk about this documentary? Should we briefly mention his documentaries that we watched or not?
What, the Camilla one?
Watch the Camilla one, the Wicked Stepmother one. Poor Gary Oliver when he was... It was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a lot of some people that didn't like Camilla and some people that did.
It was a weird one.
It was very over here and over here. There was sycophants for Camilla, literally, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That bloke was a sycophant to Camilla, wasn't he? And then you've got people that I didn't really like her at all. And then you had Prince Harry.
And I think I might read Spare again and get another perspective on this. Get it on my Kindle and read it over a year. Page it. No, it's fine. Watch that other one as well. That
Play Factory Reads.
I'm not going down that route. Been there, done that. Good T-shirt. Then we watched the other one. Was it Spatches about the money?
Yeah, that was an interesting one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
how much they actually own land-wise. Very interesting.
And you know, if you die intestate in Cornwall, your money goes to the Duchy of Cornwall. I heard that this week.
I didn't know that, no.
Yes, if you die without a will in Cornwall, your money goes to the Duchy of Cornwall.
It's alright for him, isn't it?
Scary though. Anyway, moving on. What else have we watched? We started watching All Creatures and we've kind of gone off it, haven't we?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I think it's starting to lose its magic for me.
Yeah, and I think it's just like dragging things. I get, again, this brain thing, where people drag things out. And like I want, what's his name? The main dentist.
Siegfried.
Farnham to get off with this housemaid.
Yeah.
The housekeeper. And they're just building this tension. It's like, how many years have we been watching this? And this tension building. And then now apparently they're going to get him off with somebody else. I'm like, I can't be arsed with this.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit daft, isn't it? And they're dragging on the war a bit as well. And to be honest with you, I know it did, but you know, the All Creatures Greatest Small Story is all about the vets doing the work and how crazy it was because the farmers were so eccentric. You know what I mean? And the stories are all around that and local life. And by bringing in the war, it just seems to make it.
He did in the books, didn't he? I think in the books. I'm not sure. I've not read them, but I know he did in the first one. But Emmerdale did this.
They didn't bring war into its first series, the first TV. They literally stopped.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It brought it in, but then they stopped.
Yeah,
they came back afterwards.
They just came back, didn't they? And they actually stopped filming it for about 7 or 8 years as well, which was. I don't know if it was meant to do that or, you know what I mean, to get the actors 7 years older, just like they would have been after the war. I don't know.
But yeah, Emmerdale Farm was just like that, where it was all about farm life, farming families, Yorkshire ways of being. And then it started to go into salaciousness, scandal, murder, rape, all kinds of stuff.
Train crashes, car crashes,
plane crashes,
helicopter
floods,
crashes,
tsunamis.
UFOs probably.
Yeah, UFO.
I don't know.
Everything. Disclosure. Earthquakes. Volcanoes. Royal marriages. Kim Tay. And it just got, and that's where I went off Emmerdale. And I think it's getting more and more away from farming and just going into silliness.
Yeah, disappointing. Yeah, we digressed to All Creatures Greatest.
What's his name? Harriet would be turning in his grave, wouldn't he?
Yeah, the guy who wrote it, yeah.
Yeah, I think
James
he would
Harriet,
actually.
Yeah. Well, he was really strict with the first series, wasn't he?
They won't let him change it.
Yeah, they have now changed it.
Yeah, a lot.
And I don't think he'd be impressed.
I don't think he would.
Unfortunately. And I think that's where it's gone wrong to some degree. It worked because it was really close to the books. And now they've gone away from the books a bit, and that's where it's starting to lose its magic. And the magic was in his stories. The stories of the mad vets with the mad farmers in mad situations.
But don't you think that's life today, where some people can't sit and just watch the simple life? They've got to get bigger, faster, sexier, violent, edge of your seat. It's like adrenaline rush, adrenaline junkie, isn't it?
Definitely.
We've got a lot to think about what we consume, and we're all guilty of it.
But we'll do that next. Not next, but we're going to get the TV times and just have a look through what's on over Christmas. And we can have more of a natter about these kind of things, film and TV, whether anything we think is worth watching or we'd want to watch. Obviously on catch-up because we haven't got TV license.
We've got into first dates again, but even that...
I think they've done a Christmas one as well.
Have they?
Yeah. I've just seen it advertised.
Yeah.
While watching Gordon Ramsay's new series.
Yeah, you're watching that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I got a bit bored of that.
Unfortunately, it's not as good as it used to be. It's very scripted now.
Staged.
Yeah, it seems very scripted and staged. It doesn't seem as spontaneous as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe wasn't then. It was scripted then. It's very Top Gear. It's the kind of making things happen to get reactions and Top Gear. It's humour in there. It's actions and everybody out, close the kitchen down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All those kind of things. But yeah, it's alright. It's
Mm.
watchable.
Yeah, it's watchable telly.
Yeah. Kills an hour or so when I just want to relax. But I think I'd rather go and read my book, to be honest. Or put together a video, which I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
In between this.
We're doing alright with VLOGMAS.
Mm-hmm.
It's going quite quick actually doing VLOGMAS because it's
Mm-hmm.
because when you're plotting content and things you're doing, it's
We've got a board game coming up, haven't we?
yes.
So we'll think about doing a Christmas board game, and then Claire said we didn't really do have many Christmas board games. So I said, oh well, we can't really have a natter about that then, can we? But I know when I was a kid, we used to get at least one board game every year. So I remember stuff like Guess Who, obviously Monopoly. There was one called what was it called now? Well, it was the opposite of Monopoly. You had to lose the money. I can't remember what it's called now, which we always enjoyed. I think it was maybe based on Brewster's Millions, where you had to lose £1 million. And yeah, that's the idea. The winner of the game was the person to lose the money quickest. What else? Kaplunk.
Oh yeah, Kaplunk.
Snakes and Ladders.
Snakes and Ladders. Yeah, I've played Kaplunk. Snakes and Ladders.
Simple games.
Connect
4. Yeah. All those kind of games.
Monopoly.
Cluedo. So we managed to purchase Cluedo yesterday in the reduced bin at Sainsbury's, and I thought that might make a good video. You'll tell us later because that's going to be another video coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Again, board games I think are starting to come. I know book reading's coming back. More and more people are starting to read books. Board games are coming back.
They're not built to the quality they used to be, are they?
They're not.
They used to be really well, the really nice boards, really nice pieces and bits, but they just seem a bit. I mean, it's not too bad. The actual weapons and stuff weren't too bad. Well, the little pieces weren't too bad, but the boards are just poor quality. I think they'll try and do it in a smaller box and go into a quarters now rather than halves. But no, not as good quality. I think they're just, I think otherwise it'd be too expensive to manufacture, possibly.
I think a board game. I'm going to look at this. So board games are a big thing on YouTube. People playing board games. I'll have to have a look at that and see what.
Yeah, we can see what you think. We'll see what you think about our Cluedo vlog, Christmas board game vlog.
Yeah, see
which I'm currently editing right now because we've come up with a new way of filming potentially.
Yes.
It's okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
Two video streams. I'll just leave it at that.
Could be something that I can use in the future as well.
Possibly.
I'm thinking about this. If I did something like tarot scopes, possibly doing it on that table.
And do 2 streams.
Yeah.
Like that. Possibly.
Possibly something to look at in the new year.
Yeah. It's doable because it's not as hard to edit as I thought it was going to be.
I won't do it for every video, but the tarot scopes I possibly will look into doing it. 'Cause it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be.
No, I think for the game it was harder because of stopping and starting.
Yeah.
But for someone, if it's sort of just like 10 minutes, just putting 2 videos together and putting one in a corner or something like that, it wouldn't be too difficult. So we'll see.
Yeah, sit with you.
Yeah. We'll see what happens on that one.
Yeah. Anyway, question, and this is only a question, we're having a discussion today. Do you think there is a cut-off point for having children.
That is a digress.
Isn't it? 'Cause we're talking about this. We mentioned it briefly in the video. This week, I was looking about the different stages of perimenopause, and I didn't realise this, but you can start off transitioning into perimenopause at the age of 35. And then 40, it starts to build up, then 50 is menopause. Do you know, for a woman's life, that's nearly 15 to 20 years. And if a woman's also had children, given birth, fallen pregnant, that's also more hormonal chaos. And also, as though she's gone, well, she will have gone to adolescence. That's a lot of hormonal chaos in one woman's life, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And I was like, 35, and I looked back to my own life at 35, and it was like, that actually starts to make sense. And today we're in Donington Hall, and these two women came in, and they must have easily been my age or older. And they came in with these little toddler babies, and you could see they were overwhelmed. You could see they were tired, they were drawn, you could see it was all, the kids were just like throwing food everywhere. And I was like, I had this discussion and I said, do you think, it's a difficult one, and no answer fits all, but do you think that as women, having children over 35 is actually leaving it too late in some respects?
Could well be. I mean, obviously we can't say much because we've not had the experience of having children. So is it just overwhelming no matter what age you are?
But if you think about an older mum, after 35, she's starting with, when you find out about the signs and symptoms of perimenopause, like, you can get like freeze frame where you don't want to do all, and it can take you a while to get going in the morning. It can take, you know, your anxiety, edginess, lethargy, feeling tired.
You'd like to think the body, I don't know if this is true, this is me saying, thinking scientific now, that if a woman's body gave birth at that age, that it might give you pause. You know what I mean? So you don't go through those stages for at least a little bit until you get used to the experience of having a young child, potentially. But I don't know if it would work that way.
But if you think about the modern world we live in, where women are required to work full time, they're required to go into management positions, and you know, we talk a lot about overwhelm. They've got, you know, driving, because apparently I've also found out, and this answers a lot, that many women start with the fear of driving during perimenopause. That can just come on like that. And then all these added extras that women are struggling with. Social media, you know, having the friends putting on social media that how great they are, and it's a lot. And I think because I've read these books as well for the reading vlog, and even Paloma Faith, just because Paloma Faith is in her 40s, and I remember reading that thinking, oh my God, shut up, Paloma. But actually, if you leave it over 35, you're facing a lot of other things as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't know what the human body is capable of in that sense, but if it wasn't, and you were going to start going through menopause, to have young kids, even teenage kids, you know, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? You know, so if you have kids early, say if you're 18, 19, your kids are going to be that age before you even hit 35, 40 potentially, aren't they? So you've got it done and dusted. Yeah. And you always thought that might be the best way, because potentially you're losing the best years of your life, young life maybe. But it's food for thought, because this is what happened Henry VIII's time, say, that they married young and they had children very young, very young. We're talking Elvis Presley young. I'm only joking.
In all fairness to the king, apparently she was 21 when she had Lisa Marie, so I've been told on a comment.
Fair enough.
But again, you know, if you think about a child that falls bouncy, a child that... If me and a child's walking down the street, the child falls, I fall. Mine's going to be a lot worse than the child. The child will roll and bounce, might have a cry. If I fall compared to a teenager, so if his falling is like that, pregnancy is like that. If you had an 18-year-old girl or a 20-year-old woman in the same labour ward as a woman in her 40s, It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
I'm not saying there's a right or wrong.
No, there isn't. No, definitely not. But it's always, is it going to be harder? More than likely. Is it going to be difficult? Probably. But then you've got a little bit. You've got your experience. So an older mother's going to have more life experience than the younger mother. So it's 6 and 2 threes almost, but very interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a conversation we had at Donington Hall.
I just thought it'd be interesting to bring to channel
and see what other people's opinions were on this.
Because there is issues at the minute, isn't there? With
especially people who've gone through pregnancies and motherhood, fatherhood at different ages.
There's also being a grandparent as well. So if you have your child in your 20s, you're going to be a grandparent earlier, so you can be a much more active grandparent. Whereas if I had a baby now, I gave birth right now, 42 years old. By the time I'm 52, that child's 20. Whereas if I'd have had it 10 years ago, I've got grandma at 42,
Yeah.
Right, isn't it? See what I mean? And we got grandma at 42. But actually, think about how hands-on you can be.
Yeah, well, that's and a lot of grandmothers at that age are as well. You know what I mean? And they help out for women to go back to work, and they become almost surrogate mothers sometimes, while the mums are actually going back to work. So yeah, it's like I said, there's no right way of doing it, but it's very interesting. I think it's horses for courses, isn't it?
But the society that we live in now is actually encouraging women to wait until they're. I could go down a rabbit hole with this one, but is that encouraging women to wait longer and longer and longer? When they do, encouraging women to wait past 35 is.
Yeah, is it the right thing to do? I don't know. They do have a cut-off where they say it's not a good idea, don't they? I think.
I don't know.
But yeah, interesting.
Just thought I'd bring it in.
Have we got any other Christmas chat?
Any Christmas chat? This has been a right tangent one. I don't know.
Has. We've gone really off Christmas, haven't we? That's probably because of the Natter we had.
Oh. No, but this channel isn't just about Christmas. And Vlogmas isn't just about. I've seen Vlogmas where you're just watching people make a cup of tea sometimes, or they're just doing the film themselves, just plodding during the day.
Do you want a cup of tea?
No, I'm all right, thanks.
I thought it was a hint.
No, I'm just Yes, all right.
Okay.
It's
I won't mind a cup of tea. Go and get us a cup of tea.
You don't drink tea?
No, I don't.
It is interesting how we live compared to our ancestors live, though, isn't it? And
yeah, it's very different, isn't it? Very interesting indeed.
Any more Christmas talk?
Any more Christmas talk? We've got a few extra decorations up than we put on our vlog, haven't we?
Yes.
You bought some more tinsel and I put them up over.
If you can see some more tinsel on the tree.
Yeah, and I put a bit more tinsel over there, moved some tinsel over there.
A rail tray or a plastic tray. We had that debate today, didn't we?
We did, yeah, because we saw them selling the real trees at Donington Hall. And my feeling is, okay, maybe a real tree is more sustainable. Because, you can use it and you can burn it, or you can compost it or whatever. And a plastic tree can't. But a plastic tree lasts you potentially quite a long time.
Yeah, the only reason that hasn't is because it's starting to collapse in certain places. The branches are going right down. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But that other one would have lasted us years.
Yeah, it's just massive. It wouldn't fit.
And I would have kept it years as well, but it just wouldn't have fit here.
We should have probably done something like donate it or something, or free to collected it or something. In retrospect, but hey ho, we all live in
so we just saw these real trees today, and it was like, I don't know, like.
Well, my opinion was it was the most expensive one was £90. Now I don't know if that's as big as your house. It probably wasn't. It probably wouldn't be one like we used to have. It would probably a bit bigger than that. I think there would have been the ones like Gravely. I don't think there'd be a National Lampoon sized Christmas tree, but they were probably been quite reasonable sized. But obviously, for £90, you could get a fake one, and it'd probably last years. And the question is, where are these trees coming from? Are they sustainably farmed? I don't know.
It's a bit like the big debate of the turkeys as well. Turkey farming and all of that. You know, we're getting more and more. I mean, not to sound like Bill Gates, but we're getting more and more people on the planet now.
We are, yeah.
But more and more people having turkeys.
Be careful where you go for. I don't want Bernard Matthew coming after us.
What, you mean serious then? You know, and like we saw today, tree after tree after tree after tree after tree after tree after tree.
Yeah, it's a lot of trees, and that's just Donington Hall. Imagine all the other places around the country and where these trees are coming from. They're more than like they're grown in Canada or something like that. And if they're sustainably grown,
probably Scotland, because they were chopping tree after tree down in Scotland.
Possibly, yeah. I think
like that trip up to Glencoe. There's loads of Christmas trees up there.
But a lot of biomass comes from Canada and places like that now. Some power stations around here burn wood, and a lot of that wood is how sustainable that wood is. And it's like, you know, are they just cutting forests down, and are they growing them back? You know, sorry, going a bit too green now.
No, it's true.
It might be the colour of my top.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's, you know, humans' effect on the planet. It's
yes, climate change. Got a lot of that with work at the minute.
Yeah, Gary.
What?
Climate change.
Climate change, yes. Trying to stop climate change. Interesting. And that would be the first. Which is the best? I don't know. And that's what I'm thinking. Because you don't really want plastic trees.
Yeah.
But if you can get enough life out of them, like this tree, rubbish, because it's not going to last more than 3 years. So it was a waste of time. I wish we'd not bought it. If you're going to get something like that and it's going to last you 10, 15, 20 years, then I'm feeling a bit better about it. But not sustainable, not happy.
Yeah.
If you're cutting a Christmas tree down and you put it in your living room and it dies after Christmas and that's it, and it gets chopped, it's gone in a biomass boiler somewhere, great energy, yes, fair enough. But have you replaced that tree when you cut it down? I'd like to think that when they've got Christmas trees for like 10 years, so it takes 10 years, say, to get to a nice, reasonable Christmas tree. So they're cutting down enough every year, but they're replanting them every year. Yeah. That'd be what I'd like to see happening. But is it? I don't know.
But again, you think about everything to do with Christmas: the tinsel, the baubles.
Everything's plastic, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just sat here looking, thinking, again, our ancestors wouldn't have had tinsel up.
No.
They'd have had, like the wreaths we made on the door, they'd have made stuff like that.
That's the most sustainable thing we've done.
Yeah.
This Christmas. And it was the most inexpensive as well. But
interesting.
It is interesting. Whether you want something like that in your house, I don't know, but people put trees in the house, so it's an interesting thought. And yeah, like I say, I don't mind plasticky stuff, tinny foily stuff, if it's going to last. But if it don't last, it's not worth it.
No.
Hey ho. Bummer for Christmas, eh?
No. Let this be one. That's cloth. I don't know.
I don't know. But like I say, if it lasts a long time, then it's fine. The problem is, it's going to last too long.
Yes.
Because it just won't. Because I'm going way off piece now. But yes. Anything else Christmassy before we round it up?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Because we've dragged on.
Yes.
For nearly 40 minutes
Bill Gates straight off, Gary.
What? Well, you keep bringing Bill Gates up. I haven't mentioned Bill Gates once. It's usually me that name drops. Like, I think I've name dropped Prince Harry. Who else have I name dropped?
Camilla.
I think I name dropped somebody else as well. I know Cliff Richard.
Oh God, he's on the vlog. He is. Let's not go down Cliff Richard route. We don't listen to Cliff Richard anymore, do we?
No.
We turn him off. Comes on, we turn him off.
I don't think he's on much
he
anymore.
Said Monday.
I think most radio stations have done the same.
Well, yeah.
But who else have I name dropped? I can't remember.
We were talking about Cliff Richard because in Doddington Hall they had mistletoe and wine, and they had a bath with lots of wine bottles and mistletoe up and a Cliff Richard CD.
Yeah, because obviously Cliff Richard is mistletoe and wine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just because of the song.
Yes. Interesting.
Yeah, the song
Yeah, I do like his music, but I can't listen to him now. Anyway, that's for after he's died. We'll have that conversation then.
Okay.
Anyway.
We really digress.
Yeah, tangents. Anyway. Okay.
If you like this vlog...
Do you know, we did say, didn't we, that we'd start you doing, like, not controversial, but what's the word? Like talking about hot topics
complimentary, not complimentary.
Hot topics of the, like Mohammed Al Fayed, that's a hot topic at the minute.
Yeah, let's not talk about that this time.
No,
it's Christmas.
I know, I'm just saying, for next year, hot topics of the time and just...
Yeah.
I mean, let us know in the comments if you'd like us to do hot topics.
Or did you want us to keep it light?
Or keep it light. Yeah, because people just get flipped out, don't they?
Yeah. Hot topics can be very...
hot
and... you got people over there, and people over there don't like the people over here.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. So it gets very what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Diversive. That's the word, I think. But yeah, I think we'll keep it light.
Yeah, we'll keep it light.
with the odd name drop.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
It's all just for fun.
Yeah.
Allegedly, and all of that kind of stuff that you've got to say now.
Don't fall. Just for fun.
Yes. Anyway, if you've got to the end of this video and you'd like to leave a comment but you're not sure what to put, leave us a television emoji.
Or a flame for a hot topic.
Or a flame for a hot topic or a television in the comment section. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Remember that we've got the playlist, the 2024 Vlogmas and the 2023 Vlogmas that's still there if you want to catch up with that. And we will see you in the next one.
We will. So long.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
We wish